On Saturday, 28 October 2023, Dr. Funmilola Adefolalu, who was home alone at her residence in Minna, Niger State, Nigeria, received a knock on the gate of her house. She made her way outside to see who was knocking. On reaching there, she peeped through an opening and saw a familiar face behind the gate. It was 14-year-old Joy Afekafe, the house help she had fired a few days back after she saved her for barely 3 weeks. Joy told her that she just came around to visit her. Dr. Funmilola, completely unaware of the fate that would soon befall her, opened the gates and then led her into the house. The security dog in the compound was pleased to see Joy and then neglected its security duty since it was a familiar face. When they got into the house, the two began talking. As the discussion went on, Joy noticed that Dr. Funmilola's new house help was done with her chores and was leaving the house. This presented a perfect opportunity for her to execute the plan that would result in the horror that would be witnessed the next day. Dr. Funmilola was a lecturer at the Federal University of Technology, Minna. She was also a pastor at the Voice of Mercy Church, Minna. On the next day, being Sunday, Dr. Funmilola's absence from church was noticed by everyone. It was quite unusual for her, being a pastor, to stay away from church without informing anyone. The church members were worried and then tried to reach her through the phone, but her line was switched off. After service, friends and church members decided to visit her at her residence to check up on her. Nothing would have ever prepared them for the scene they were about to witness. On getting to the residence, they found Dr. Funmilola lying lifeless and in a pool of her blood, with marks of injury on her body. Shocked by this discovery, the concerned visitors alerted the police immediately, and the detectives were quickly dispatched to the scene. The police found 2 knives with bloodstains at the crime scene and suspected that they were the weapons used in the attack. Dr. Funmilola was rushed to IBB Hospital, Minna, where she was confirmed dead. The police carried out their investigation, which quickly led them to Joy Afekafe. She was arrested at a residence in another area where she had been hiding. Initially, the police were shocked to find out that the suspect was just a 14-year-old girl, and many doubted her ability to carry out such a brutal act alone. However, as the interrogation progressed, a dark and calculated plot emerged, one that would surprise even the most seasoned detectives. It all began when Dr. Funmilola's 3 children secured jobs outside Niger State after graduation. Concerned for her safety and the isolation she faced, Dr. Funmilola made arrangements for someone to stay with her in the compound. What she couldn't have known was that the person she would choose to help relieve her loneliness would soon become the source of unimaginable horror. Dr. Funmilola Adefolalu was not only a respected lecturer, but also a devoted pastor at the Voice of Mercy Church in Minna. Her well-being was a matter of great concern to the church elders, especially after her children moved out of the state for their careers. Left alone in her compound, the church leadership strongly encouraged her to find someone who could stay with her, both for companionship and security. This suggestion became more urgent after a student who had been living in the boys' quarters of her home relocated abroad. Without anyone else around, the church pushed for her to find someone new to stay in the house. It was during this time that 14-year-old Joy Afekafe came into the picture. Joy, a member of the church, was from a struggling family. She had lost her father, and with her mother living far away, she and her siblings were often left to fend for themselves. She had been known to roam the streets without proper parental care, and the church saw this as an opportunity to help both Joy and Dr. Funmilola. After consulting with Joy's mother and obtaining her consent, the church leadership believed that employing Joy as Dr. Funmilola's house help would be a win-win situation for both parties. It would provide the lecturer with companionship and assistance, while she would enroll Joy in a new school, pay her fees, and also take care of all her needs. On October 1st, 2023, Joy was officially handed over to Dr. Funmilola by her mother with the full support of the church. What no one realized at the time was that they were entrusting Dr. Funmilola's life to a girl who would soon shatter the very sense of safety they had sought to protect by setting in motion a chain of events that would lead to unspeakable tragedy. Within just a few weeks, Joy began to show troubling behaviors. Money started disappearing from the house, and Joy would deny any involvement even when she and Dr. Funmilola were the only ones living in the compound. She started being very disrespectful, arguing and talking back at the lecturer. Joy also exhibited what the church leadership described as traits of criminal behaviors. Concerned by these developments, the church advised Dr. Funmilola to let Joy go. This decision was made barely a week before the tragic incident. Unfortunately, this decision would turn out to become one that would haunt them forever. Sacking Joy triggered something dark within her. Rather than accepting the outcome of her actions, she began plotting revenge against the very woman who had once tried to help her. In the days that followed, Joy distanced herself from the church community. She met up with her classmates, Walex and Smart. All three of them were in SS2 and also attended the same school. Joy narrated her ordeal to Walex and Smart. She also expressed a strong desire to get back at the lecturer for sending her packing. At about 4:30 p.m. on that fateful Saturday, Joy and her accomplices decided to implement their plan. She showed up at Dr. Funmilola's house and knocked on the gate. The lecturer came out to check who was calling. On peeping, she saw Joy behind the gate. What she didn't know was that Joy wasn't alone. Her classmates were hiding somewhere, and they definitely were not carrying books and biros. The lecturer opened the door and let her in. While inside, they began having a chat. Things took a terrifying turn shortly after her new house help had left the compound. Walex and Smart came in to initiate a brutal attack that left Dr. Funmilola lifeless and with multiple stab wounds. After committing the heinous act, the two attackers went on to steal the lecturer's phone, laptop, car battery, and cash. They then locked her inside the house and took the keys with them in an attempt to delay the discovery of their terrible deed. The three then split up, with Joy seeking refuge in a different area of Minna, while Walex and Smart disappeared to an unknown location. Joy's freedom was short-lived as she was arrested 2 days after the attack. However, Walex and Smart were still on the run, and at the time of making this video, there was no news report or court document showing that the two were later arrested. It's possible that Walex and Smart are still in hiding. It would interest you to know that Niger State is the largest state in Nigeria by landmass. Its size can be compared to the combined landmass of 10 Nigerian states. Hence, it is very possible for someone to go into hiding in such a place. When asked why she carried out the attack, Joy explained that her intention was not to take the lecturer's life. All she wanted to do was have her friends beat her up. But on implementing the original plan, Walex and Smart came to realize that since the lecturer now knew them, she could get her arrested, which would then lead the police directly to them. It was at that point that Walex pulled out a knife to initiate the attack. Joy claimed she dragged the knife with him, but Smart ran into the kitchen to bring another one and continued the attack. Stories like these are why people are unwilling to help strangers anymore. It's just so scary how one's good intentions can result in something so tragic. May our desire to do good not lead to our untimely death. If you've watched this video to this point, please like, share and subscribe to this channel for more true crime stories. Thank you for watching and stay safe.